You can already get amazing armor sets early in Assassin's Creed Shadows, like this black assassin outfit that you can make very strong as well, and really powerful combinations for Yasuke that make him an insane tank. So I thought to go over, I want to start with this secret outfit that lets you cheat death. Yes, when you get the fatal hit with this chest piece on, you instead get this outline around you that makes you invulnerable for 8 seconds, so then enemies cannot deal damage to you. Now still be careful though, as after the effect you can of course instantly die if you don't heal yourself. We have something for that in a moment. First, the perk says avoid death and gain immunity for 8 seconds one time, but we don't have a cooldown indication in this game, so you don't know when the effect will trigger again. But yeah, the one time mention maybe is per combat encounter. What we found is that if you stay hidden and out of combat for about 2 minutes and then get into combat again, it will trigger again. So if you follow that, you should be safe. Now the best part is that it's really easy to get and does not require any combat. So it does not matter that you have to go into a high level zone. Put a marker here on the map, and you can do this with Yasuke or Naoe, it doesn't matter. But simply use the Pathfinder, that will give you a perfect route to get there, and then you will be able to grab the legendary chest to get this outfit piece. And then from that spot you can also find the mask to round out the pretty creepy set. And I love the outfit as well in terms of look. And well, this headgear helps a bit with the survivability, as you get 5% health back on the first hit after using an ability. I wish it was more than 5% because it's not a lot and you cannot really spam abilities thanks to limited adrenaline. But the buff does stay a bit after using an ability, so just make sure that you hit a target to get the health back. So for this we want to travel further into Wakasa. Put the marker here, let the Pathfinder tell you how to ride. Now careful though, it might suggest you go through a camp. We of course don't want to do that. You want to end up here. You can just easily travel there, and then inside the cave you'll find an enemy. Just throw a smoke bomb, get the chest, and you got the mask. There are also outfits that are closer to where you start the game. One of them is the Toolmaster set that has the really cool shinobi look without the hood but with a face mask. And the chest of this set basically unlocks the chain assassination, as you will throw a kunai to the closest enemy after an assassination, instantly killing them as well. And really great is that it does not cost you an actual kunai. So nice for stealth runs when two enemies are like close to each other but not too close for the double assassination with the Tento. Although worth noting, and maybe you encounter this as well, but sometimes the perk does not trigger, so I hope Ubisoft looks into this. You get the Toolmaster chest from the castle in the Isumisetsu region. If you love throwing shurikens, then totally use the mask of the Toolmaster set, because with this you can just throw them to enemies to interrupt them or deal some damage, and they won't break. Meaning that you can always pick them up from the bodies, like multiple, which is really nice. So you also get this from a castle in the Isumisetsu region, and it's the one over here on the map. Before we look at the full black assassin outfit, there's another really cool assassin style robe for Naoe with the hood and the face mask. Maybe you remember this from the pre-launch footage. It's the Swift Shinobi set, and I wonder if the headgear perk works as intended, because I remember it doing something different during the preview. So the perk says that you slow down time when detected, and yes, that is true. When you are detected, the game slows down and then you have time to prepare for combat. But that's not very handy at all. How a similar skill worked in the previous games is that when you were being detected, you could quickly take care of the enemy and not alert anyone else. And this is how I remember it working during my preview as well, as you see right here. So I hope they change that back. Still great to get, of course, over here on the map from this military castle, so you have to be a bit higher level for this, like around the level 25. And I was able, thanks to the Kagurega upgrade in the hideout, see safe houses in Iga already. I'm not sure if this is like linked to the tutorial or if it's because of the meditation flashbacks, but yeah, you can use this to teleport to Iga. But you can of course travel there as well by just putting a marker on the map. So the chest is very easy to explain and very good, because it simply lets you remove +2 health segments on an air assassinate. So it makes those air assassinations way better. And what you can also do, and what I still do later in the game, is that when I have the high ground and can air assassinate the target but I will not kill him, briefly switch to that chest to perform the insta-kill assassination, then switch back to another armor if I want. But you can of course also engrave the perk on future naoe gear after unlocking the forge and upgrading it to rank 2 in your hideout. So get the Swift Shinobi chest piece from completing this military castle in Iga. Yes, let's move on to the black assassin outfit and some armor sets for Yasuke. Of course, if you like the video so far, leave a like, that would really help me out, and subscribe to not miss our next Assassin's Creed Shadows video. So I already touched on the black assassin hood in our early things video that you can get over here on the map from a hidden trail that you can easily get to. And as I mentioned in that early things video, you want to re-roll. So save before opening the chest, see if you got the amazing kunai perk. If you don't, you can reload that save before the chest, open the chest again, you get the hood again with a different perk. I will leave a link to that video in the video description. It includes way more early things you want to get. But it's of course way cooler in combination with the chest piece. Totally one of my favorite looks for naoe in the game. And while you can get some different colored versions of this armor set later in the main story, you can get this chest piece already very early on. Place a marker over here on the map and again use the pathfinder to get there, then complete the trail, and then at the end you get the chest piece for the full set. You can reroll this too, but not really needed, although if you got a great perk on the chest, let me know in the comments and then I can maybe share it with other people as well. And yes, we also have some great armor sets for Yasuke that you want to get early after unlocking him, with the protector armor not only looking really cool, but also having one of the best perks in the game. It namely lets you parry these unblockable attacks that you normally want to dodge out of the way from. Now you really have to parry, like you can't just hold your block. You have to time the block button right, but it does mean that you can stand your ground and never have to dodge anymore. And also really cool is that this means that you can negate incoming tempo shots, which is kinda awesome. An amazing armor to get early, so you can also engrave that perk on future gear that you find, and always parry the unblockable attacks, which is especially handy against later game bosses. You get it from this castle over here in Kyoto. There's also a helmet you can get from a military castle over here on the map in the Yamashiro region. This deals 50% damage to an attacker when you parry their attack. And this is by the way based on your weapon's damage, because we tested this by using a low level weapon versus a high level one. So the stronger your weapon, the better this perk, and this also means that you can build up the status effect from the weapon you have equipped. And this is by the way insane against the blue flurry attacks from enemies, because they then take damage from each strike that they do, which is kinda wild. So yes, this full protector armor is a really great get with Yasuke early in the game. But there's another really cool armor set for Yasuke, the closest he gets to wearing an assassin hood, and this is the Defense Master set. So with the chest piece you get 10% health back on each hit after a parry, and it doesn't matter if you hit a different enemy, you will always restore the health. It also doesn't have to be a perfect parry where you make an enemy vulnerable, but a regular parry that pushes an enemy back is already enough to get the health back after that hit. And yes, of course it's great with the perk from the Protector's armor, so you can trigger the health back after parrying on an unblockable attack. You get the Defense Master chest piece from a castle over here on the map in the Harima region. The headgear enhances a different defensive move, it namely slows time after a successful dodge, but it works a bit different compared to the previous games. The moment you namely attack, the slow time effect stops, so it's smarter to use this to charge up a light or heavy posture attack without being interrupted and then unleash it for a powerful counter. Even better if the perfect dodge makes the enemy vulnerable, because then with that charge posture light attack you can immediately chain into a weak point attack, which deals even more damage. So also a pretty nice armor set, although if you are able to parry the red glowing unblockable attacks, then you could argue that you won't need to slow time on a dodge anymore. Of course, your input more than welcome in the comments. You get this headpiece from this castle also in the Harima region. Subscribe of course for way more Assassin's Creed Shadows tips and tricks like this. A like would be awesome, and check out our other tips video with more things you want to get early by clicking on the screen. I will speak to you soon. Goodbye.